Hi, my name is Becca. Welcome back to Raising Them Simply. Here we share all about our secular homeschool as a family of 5. Today we're going to chat about setting up our homeschool space for multiple learners. If you are new here, I have a almost 7-year-old. He's going into 2nd grade. I have a preschooler as well as a toddler running around. I'm also a part-time working mom as a nurse. And this channel is all about that and how we get it done for our homeschool. If that is something you're interested in, please hit that subscribe button. It is a free way for you to be notified of future videos and it helps support my channel. But let's jump into it. Now, if you are not new here, this is where I used to do my filming, but it's been a while since we've been around here. And with the new school year coming up, I'm seeing a lot of videos here on YouTube of all these people setting up their homeschool spaces in they're beautiful, elaborate areas, but guys, you don't need that to homeschool. And I feel like, especially when you are just starting out in dabbling in homeschooling, it could be a little overwhelming thinking that you need all the things and you really don't. So even though we're going to be redoing these things here in just another month or so when we take our break, I wanted to kind of show you guys around and just kind of talk about what's really important for your homeschool space. So like I said, we have multiple children. We homeschool around the kitchen table. It is just the easiest way for us to be able to do our school in the most practical sense. I've got little kids. I don't have to worry about paint getting on carpet because we've got hard floors here. I don't have to worry about hauling things from one room to another to be able to do that project, or me just feeling like I don't really want to do that at all, and so just skipping the project altogether. But we've also got snack time and bathroom breaks and kids playing in between our breaks when we're, teaching one child versus the other for an individual subject. We've got to worry about me making lunch while my son might have questions on math, and this is just the most practical, easiest way. So in fact, I don't recommend that you have a separate homeschooling space, especially when you've got young kids, because I just don't see how we would be able to do that practically for our own homeschool. It might be completely different if you have high schoolers or middle schoolers. Maybe you are able to do your own space in that sense, but for us in this stage of life, just starting out, this is the best way for us to do our homeschooling. So behind me here, we've got a Billy bookshelf. We have them all over our house. We love them. This one has cabinets, which I will show you guys in a little bit. But this is our main homeschooling bookshelf. And our dining room table is right here. So it makes it super easy for me to grab and just put it onto the table. It's also separated out in a way that makes it really easy for school time. So when we set up our school, especially here in the summer, we wake up, we usually go on a walk or go to the park, play in the backyard for a little bit. My kids aren't really hungry when they first wake up, so we do that first. We make breakfast, we eat. My son does his morning chores, my daughter does her morning chores. They get ready for the day. And then naturally they come to the table at some point after some free play where they sit at the table and they start playing with a sensory bin or doing an art project. That's kind of when I take my cue of when we're gonna start school. Now, especially since we're gearing up to 2nd grade, I'm trying to make it so it's a more of a consistent time, but up until this point, if we didn't start school until 9:30, I was okay with that. But because we're starting to add more stuff for school next year, we're slowly adjusting that time, but we're just kind of rolling with it for right now. So if we look here on the top of this bookshelf, it goes way up there, so you're not going to be able to see it. We've got science bins. Okay, these are different science experiment kits that we just get on Amazon. I will link anything down below. This bin is full of flashcards and sticky notes, which I use for everything. And this bin has a microscope as well as some loose parts for different science kits. That's just easier to keep in there in that space. So that's what we do. Next, we've got this shelf. This is our math manipulative bin. So we've got little pieces here. We've got calculators that my younger kids like to play with during school. We've got counters. We use Math with Confidence, which means a lot of flashcards. So I actually just purchased these from the Target dollar spot to be able to help hold some of these flashcards. We've got counting pieces. We've got cards, like playing cards, our fake money, everything in here. This just keeps it in one spot that's really easy for me to just take it all down and put it on the table when I need to. We've got a stapler up here. I've got a little index card holder as well. That one has, I used to make like word cards and stuff like that for certain games around the house that I didn't want our all about reading cards to be used for that. So those are there. I just haven't decluttered that yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not this next year for our preschooler. I'll take you guys around when we update our shelves and stuff for the next school year, what we end up using. But these are all about reading, pre-reading cards and level 1. My son just finished level 1. So like I said, we're going in a new school year. This is just how it is for now. We've got our letter tiles, and then we've got our Ziggy the zebra puppet for the pre-reading. And then these two kits, I did a video on that not too long ago for when we do our break as a handicraft. We're actually gonna do felting. So we have two different kits. We have one to make little farm animals, and then we have another one here. This is dinosaurs. So we're gonna be doing wool felting this year. We're super excited about that. We've also got this, I'm not sure if you guys are essential oil users, but this one is the KidSense Genius one. It actually really helps keep kids focused and they love the smell of it. So we've got that up there. We've got this little stencil. I'm not sure how well you're gonna be able to see it on here, but the stencil actually has lines on it. We do notebooking, and so this helps me make better notebooking type lines when we do that for history. So we've got one of those, and then we've got our clipboards. A lot of our worksheets for school they're not spiral bound, and those are clipboards that I already had. So I'll open it up, flip it over, and I'll clip it on there, or if the kids want to color outside or something, we do that. My toddler doesn't really know how to hold the paper down yet while she's coloring, so the paper flies all over the table and it frustrates her. So we've got clipboards, really helpful for that. And this section over here is mainly for my current first graders. So we've got this recipe book holder, which I've talked about in a video, but we use these to prop up different books and have it open. So like if my son has to draw something, or maybe we're learning about a squid or something, and I want to hold like a picture up just so he can see what it looks like while we're reading our story for science. We've got this. It's actually really helpful. And then we've got my laptop, and this is our binder for All About Reading Level 2. I do not have it completely set up yet because we just finished Level 1. But I have it right here because I actually deconstruct the workbooks, separate it out into sleeves for the different units, and then I laminate and stuff so I can reuse them, and it's more open and go. It's right there, so that way in between like doing things, if the kids are occupied, I will start cutting out some sheets and stuff to kind of get that ready, because it does take a long time, but it's worth it. So that's there. We have these little like sleeves. You could get these at the Target dollar spot. I got these years and years ago, and I just put these in here for math so that we can use dry erase markers. So we've got one side is for the 10 frames. We've got another one for the tens and ones place, and then we've got one for the hundreds chart. This just makes it nice and easy. We've got our Math with Confidence books here. We're doing grade 1 right now, and then our planner. And then this is kind of like our This is from Little School of Smiths. We did American history this year. So we're learning about the Civil War right now. So we've got that binder. We've got our notebooking binder. We're just finishing Little House on the Prairie for wrapping up our history. We had learned about the Oregon Trail and stuff, so we read Little House in the Big Woods, Little House on the Prairie. So this read aloud is always here, so it's easy to access. And then we've got these erasable colored pencils. Now, the reasons why these are separate is because these came with his writing curriculum, and I don't want him using it for other things. So we've got these colored pencils here. Oh, and everything's gonna fall over, but that's okay. So this just makes it easier to hold things that are kind of floppy. So for science, we are doing Seashore Science from Homeschool Glue. So that's the teacher guide. We've got the student worksheets. We've got our Explode the Code workbook. We aren't using these so much right now because my son was getting a little frustrated with these because he thought that they were too easy. So we're taking a break on those for now. I think we're gonna pick them up while we do this break before I have All About Reading Level 2 set up, but I have it here for now. And then for spelling this year, we are doing Spelling UC. We have not started it yet because they do recommend that you start a spelling after you complete Level 1 All About Reading. We tried doing All About Spelling, but my son did not like it. So we're gonna do Spelling UC. We're gonna hold off on that until we start second grade, just because, like I said, we want to take it a little bit slower in the summer here, and there's going to be enough changes with more responsibilities and stuff like that for school for second grade, so we're just going to let him roll with it for now. So that's these. And then we have our books to help with history. So we've got the Eyewitness book. We've got You Wouldn't Want to Be a Civil War Soldier. We've got our reference books for science. So we're doing the Burgess Seashore book. We've got the Ocean Anatomy book. And then I've got like a sticker activity book for kids that kind of go with it. So that's right here. And then this is another magazine holder. So we've got a logic workbook. These are just kind of extra things. We've got a Inspiring Stories for Brilliant Boys. We've got a book to kind of help us learn more about anger and how we should handle that. And then we've got a notebook. This just has lined paper on it to help with spelling. So this is just a line notebook to help with spelling. We use this more like when we were learning to write his name and how to stay in the lines and stuff. So this is just kind of in here in case we want to do that. I haven't taken it out because my daughter is going to start learning to do her name here in a couple months. So these are just kind of the extras. Okay, now this is my preschooler section. So she's doing the pre-reading of All About Reading, which is what these books are. So we've got her readers, teacher guide, and her student activity book here. And then she has her menu. So we've talked about this before, but for her, we just put different letter sheets in here for what she's learning, and then different numbers, just something fun for her to do. She's not too crazy about this right now, but it's summer, and she's my outdoor child that just wants to be outside all the time. So we'll revamp this for the next school year, but we kind of use this as like a supplement for her All About Reading. And then for her math, we do Preschool Math at Home. This is by Kate Snow. She's the creator of Math with Confidence. So we've got her little workbook here. And then we've got different folders. So right now she's in a reading program through one of our local libraries where she has to read 1,000 books before kindergarten or by kindergarten. So she has worksheets for that. And then I've got a folder that has like her big posters for her all about reading. And then I've got another one that has all of her preschool stuff in it. So after she completes the worksheet, she likes to display it on the wall. And then I take those down and put it in that folder, so that way all of her like records and stuff is right there. So we've got that there as well. This is our, I'll link everything down below for you guys, by the way, but this is our first day of school and last day of school chalkboard. This is a newer thing that we started this last year. I took it out already because I don't want to forget on our last day of school to take a picture. So I have it right here as a reminder. But we do have in our basement, we have this giant cabinet where all our extra homeschool stuff goes, or stuff that we're not currently using that goes down there. So that's usually stored downstairs. And I got this recently at Target Dollar Spot too. It's a My First Learning pad that my daughter saw. She really liked it. So there's stickers in here. There's just like line drawing practice. There's different tracing for the letters. I believe there's numbers in this one too. There's different colors, you know, 9 fall leaves, 10 juicy apples, you know, what color these animals are. So I just thought this was a fun thing for her to do. With preschool, I just kind of take it by the child, like what their interests are. She was really excited about this to do these sheets. I'm not sure if I'll cut these out and put them in our morning menu, or if this will be like an on-the-go thing, but we've got this because she wanted it. So it was, I believe it was only $3, so it was pretty affordable. This shelf has changed since the last time we did a video. So my kids' caddies are here. This has their like their chunky like paint sticks and their pencils, colored pencils, markers. Their whiteboards go inside these caddies as well. They fit perfectly. However, I'm actually thinking I'm gonna get rid of the individual caddies. If you have multiple kids, you know, but they, you know, the whole mine thing, like this is my marker, no, this is my marker. I think we're gonna go to a different organization system and get rid of those caddies to try to prevent those fights and arguments. So we've got those there for now. We've got our tape and our pencil sharpener here. We've got our whiteboard markers and whiteboard spray. These are our like felt markers, permanent markers that I use when my son does his history journal and he colors in pencil. We go over it on this because the pencil smudges on there. Sometimes he likes to just write or draw with these too. So we've got those. We've got our jar with our scissors on it, our erasers. We've got, my daughter's really into rhyming right now. So another thing at the Target Spot are these rhyming flashcards. So we've got these for her. We've got our visual timer, which is a lifesaver for our homeschool. We've got our little sharing joy cards that we've talked about in a video. My son and my daughter both really like these. These are pretty silly. So we'll do these like before dinner, or if we're having a harder day with school, we'll do a couple of these to kind of just make things more fun. And then my son has these extra art things here that we don't want the toddler getting into. So these are like a scratch. They have like black sheets on there and you scratch and there's color underneath. And then we've got a notebook. My son has a guide on how to make different airplanes. So that's up here too. And then these are just different maps that I printed out and laminated myself. These used to be on the wall, but we're not needing them every day, so I took them down. So we've got space, we've got continents and countries, we've got the United States one, and then we've got a globe one as well. These are nice, especially when we were doing history. We could do whiteboard on here to show like where the Vikings went and things like that. So it makes it easier and it's nice and wipeable. So we've got these here for easy reference. And then I'm going to put the camera down a little bit and then show you what's underneath. Okay, so down here is our cabinet. So we've got, things are a little bit all over the place right now, but we're gonna roll with it. We've got our paint bin here. This has our watercolors and other washable paints that we've actually got to restock. And these have little droppers and tongs and stuff for different experiments. This goes down there. But we've got a junior spirograph, that's my daughter's. We've got a pencil box full of crayons. We've got dart markers, paintbrushes, and glue sticks. This is a little grabber that we use for our sensory bins. Construction paper. Down there in that box, that just has like paint, swatches and stuff like that to help. And then down there is kind of like our loose bins parts that has like popsicle sticks and putty and googly eyes and all those fun messy things. Okay, so welcome to my dining room. We always do a poster on the wall that has to do with whatever history or science that we're doing. So we're doing ocean marine biology, so we've got a poster for the ocean. And then over here, every time we do like a letter from our pre-reading, my daughter does the worksheet and then we tape it on the wall for her so that she can kind of see it every day. This is all going to kind of change here. We're going to be painting. We're going to get a big whiteboard up here. We're going to get some actual hooks so that we don't have to put tape on our wall, but all things good come with time, right? So we're just rolling with it. We work with what we have here. So these benches actually have storage underneath. So the one way over there, that one has our coloring books and like water wows and stuff like that in there. And then in this bench over here, we have different like poppets and manipulatives and Play-Doh and things in that one. Kind of the messier things that you can't really store too well in the cabinet. So we've got that there. We also have our little mini globe there. And over here we have our printer paper system over there. And then on my kitchen counter, just off camera that you can't see, that has our sensory bins in it that we are going through right now, as well as my laminator and cutter and stuff like that, just so that I have access because I'm doing all about reading prep right now. So that is our homeschool space. Like I said, you don't need a whole lot. We use this space, every inch of this space, but it is worth it and it works really well with us. So I hope you like this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know what kind of space you use for your homeschool and who you are homeschooling, how many you're homeschooling. I'd love to know. And hit that subscribe button. It is a free way to be notified of future videos, and I can't wait to catch you guys next time. Bye.